Hearing the words, "You have triple negative breast cancer," the most aggressive type of breast cancer, stopped me in my tracks and derailed my life. Thankfully today, 18 years later, I am cancer-free. At the time, there was no treatment targeting triple negative breast cancer. And I'm like, well, if you can't target it, how are you going to treat it? Well, we're going to give you everything that we have and then hope it works. I didn't learn until way after the fact. One of the reasons why they didn't have treatments targeting triple negative breast cancer was that, it tends to happen more in Black women, and people weren't recruiting Black women for clinical trials. So if you can't test the drug in someone's body, then you don't have treatments that target that disease in those kinds of populations, right? So imagine getting diagnosed and then imagine being told there's nothing for you. So because of my skin color, I could have died. Once I realized the inequities that existed for people in this country who looked like me, I felt compelled to do something to act on what I've been through, and that became the impetus for Tiger Lily Foundation. This picture here is me and my daughter. This is the October before I got diagnosed. It's me after my treatment. I'm literally in bed on the computer, beginning Tiger Lily, typing up the mission. Our work is really focusing on working to end disparities for Black women who, because of systemic barriers to healthcare, are dying from cancer at a higher rate than their white counterparts. GSK has been an amazing partner to work with. They really understand the importance of clinical trials and the impact on Black women when we're not included. One of the big things we partnered with them on was the My Living Legacy campaign. Black women are underrepresented in clinical trials for many reasons. There's barriers that are systemic, and there are barriers that are structural, and there are barriers that are historic. So for the campaign, we engaged communities. We went to events with GSK. We went to people and met them where they were, churches and so forth, educating them in a way that made sense for them. What about a clinical trial? Is that an option?
My doctor is always looking at different therapies for me. Like clinical trials is always there on the table.
The campaign has been tremendously successful. We've seen a really amazing shift in people understanding the importance of clinical trials. It's important to have, targeted treatments for our population. So this advocacy for yourself, for your family and the community is absolutely critical. All human beings should have the right to equal health care. And until we begin to have more Black women in trials, we're going to see more negative side effects, short-term, long-term, and higher death rates in that population, in our population. My hope for women of color in healthcare is that someday we will no longer be having these kind of conversations, right? We will have equal access for all. We'll all be asked about and offer clinical trials, and we'll be able to live happy and fuller lives.